Welcome everyone to another workout at home. I want to show some abdominal work and also some lower body that we can do with the floor. And we're going to be using, and I know this looks very similar to our ball that we have at home, but actually this was purchased for about $1.50, $1.69 at a local grocery store. And I just took some air out so we have a little bit more pliability. So if that's something that's within your budget, great. Anything we do today, I'll show modifications without the ball. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with our abdominals, and I have our chair here for later on when we be doing some more advanced variations of some bridging work. And of course, you can opt out of the chair. I'll again show those modifications for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and lie down. Okay, we're going to place the ball, or remember we have that pillow that we've been using here in earlier videos where I folded it in two. So it could be a towel, it could be a blanket, you get to choose that, or it could be nothing. I just enjoy the extra inner thigh engagement. Again, you know I love to involve the deeper layers of the abdominals, so that inner thigh connects to the pelvic floor, which helps us find that transverse abdominis. All right, we're going to be in a nice neutral position. Okay, knees about 90 degrees or so. And remember, we have that ball right at that inner thigh. Roll your shoulders down and back, neck neutral. Chin, forehead on the same plane. Let's start with a little head nod. Okay. Cervical nod. We lengthen through the back of the neck, but we're really relaxed through the front neck muscles. So we don't want to lift our head up like that. We just glide it back. On this next one, I'm going to have you hold it. So you're trying to take a peek at the ball or the top of the knees. Arms are long, and for now, let's keep them on the mat. Exhale, lift up the head, neck, and shoulder in that order, and then take it down. So this is our little abdominal warm-up. In Pilates, we call these chest lifts, curl-ups. I want you to squeeze that ball, activating, and notice how my spine is immobile here. Staying wide across the chest and collarbone. So I don't internally rotate here. A little more challenging, float those fingertips up. If you need one or both hands behind, you may. Just know that when you put both hands, that's going to give you a little more resistance, and maybe you might like that. Okay? If you do, the elbows are in your peripheral vision. They're not too wide, and they're not pulling on the neck. So we want to make sure it's just in that right little sweet spot. Squeeze that ball. Last one, I'm going to have you hold it up. I'm going to go back to those arm reaches here. Hold it up, and let's pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Again, the shoulders are down, collarbone is wide. Reach a little higher, squeeze that ball a little deeper, and peel it all the way down. All right, we're going to add some rotation. For now, we're going to keep our legs on the floor. So fingertips behind, elbows float up just a little bit so you can see them in your side view here. Tucking the chin, squeezing that ball. Exhale, come up. I want you to hold it there. You're going to rotate the left rib toward the right hip, trying to keep the right shoulder and left elbow from coming to the mat here. Come back to center, and let's alternate this. So this is flexion with rotation of the spine. Remember, we don't flap our wings here. We don't certainly do that as our rotation. It's all through the waist, so keeping the upper body very static. Pelvis is stable. Elongate the spine at the bottom before you lift into your flexion. Eyes can now follow that elbow for a little deeper twist into the cervical. It's very subtle. Notice my upper body is immobile. All right, we're going to do one more to each side. All right, we're going to hold to our original side, come up, and hold it up there. Take your left arm, reach toward the outside of the right knee. Now, without pulsing the arm, we're going to pulse the rib. Rib to right hip. Lift, lift, lift. Try not to pick up the hip. 4, 3, 2, hold. Come up a little higher. A little higher. Exhale, a little deeper. And take it down. Same thing, other side. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, come up and rotate. Take the right arm and reach to the outside of the left knee. Here we go, and pulse. Now I'll give you a little secret here. Whatever side you're reaching to, as in I'm reaching to my left knee, okay? I'm going to want to squeeze that side into the ball. A little deeper. So I'm rolling to this side. So if I squeeze that left knee just a little harder, it's going to keep me from rolling around. 4, 3, 2, hold it up, come up a little higher. Roll that shoulder down a little higher, exhale a little deeper, and take a break. Good. Okay, let's extend all the way. Open up the ribs, elongate here, go into a slight extension. So you can see I no longer have that neutral space. All right, try not to let the arms rest on the floor. I'm going to have you hover them right by the ear. Tuck the tail under, close the ribs, and just elongate here. And you can reach side body, right side of your whole body here, reaching in opposition. So it's the left toes and the left fingertips. It's like you're climbing a rope. Just a little cool down. Good. All right. Bend the knees, and I want you to move your hips a little closer. If you have a chair or a sofa, this works great, a bench as well, okay? Also, you can keep your feet flat and just follow along, okay? Let's start with our knees in line with the hip. Grab that ball, okay, if you've got it. If not, that's okay. We have the towel, we have the pillow. I'm going to have you squeeze that ball. Find your neutral space, arms down at your side. All right, inhale to prepare, elongate. I'm going to have you tilt the tailbone. We're going to do a little pelvic rocking to start. Squeezing that ball, and we'll just do 3 sets. And squeeze the ball, imprint, belly goes into the back of the spine. Full breath out, ribs knit. Hip to rib, rib to hip. And we've done this before, where we've got the fingers on the rib and hip, that distance should get smaller. Good. All right, one more for fun. Full out, breath goes out deeply. All right, on the next one, we're going to hold that position. Squeeze the ball, full breath out. Now drive your heels into the floor if they're on the floor, or the chair, or the sofa. Slowly articulate. Now you got to be careful not to come too high here, because we only go to our shoulders. Our spine is neutral. A lot of times people like to come up really high here, and that puts a lot of stress on the neck. Okay, so let's make sure we don't do that. Closing the ribs and slowly peel down. So we're going to do a few articulating bridges. Imprint, squeeze. And roll it down. Remember, we're focusing on spinal articulation, spinal mobility. Try not to hard point or flex the toes, so sometimes they get cramps. At the very top here, rib, hip, thigh, all in one plane, and you shouldn't feel any stress in the low back. Let's do 2 more of these. Each repetition is 2 breaths. Squeeze that ball, or towel, or pillow. All right, we're gonna hold it at the bottom in a neutral position. We're gonna squeeze 3, 2, 1, hold, tuck and peel. And 3, 2, 1, articulate down. Hold it at the bottom. 3, exhale, 2, 1, hold, tuck and peel. Inhale, press, 2, 3, inhale, really big, and peel down. Let's do 3 more sets. Staying wide across the chest. If you need that help, you can use your hands. If you want a challenge, float the arms up. 3, 2, 1. You can keep them up or float the arms down as the hips go down. 3, 2, 1, and articulate down. 3, 2, 1, tuck and peel. 3, 2, 1, and peel down. Now this is going to be a little different now. Everybody have their arms up. If you don't want to, you're welcome to keep them down, but this is just a little fun challenge. Here we go. We're going to maintain a neutral position in the spine. So we're going to just lift up into a hinge and roll down. Spine is neutral. Lift up and articulate down. Now let's add those arms. Here we go. Hinge, come up, palms go down. Arms come up, articulate down. Articulate down. Hinge, come up. Articulate down. One more time, then we're going to reverse that pattern. Hinge, come up. Articulate down. Let's articulate up. And hinge, come down. Articulate up. Hinge, come down. Two more. One more. Hold this one up. Take your ball out. Hold it in one hand. We're going to open the arms, close the arms, pass the ball. Hips up high. Hips higher. Two more on each. One more, hips higher. Hold and slowly melt it down. Good. Okay, tuck the knees into the chest. If you'd like to do a single leg stretch or a double, you're welcome to do that. If you had your towel, you could use it as a stretching strap. Do a little point flex. And if you'd like to deepen that stretch, lengthen your bottom leg. That's optional, of course. A little rotation. And reverse. And switch it out. Lengthen. A little flex point. And rolling your shoulders down and back. Just go to the place where you feel slight discomfort, no pain. Few rotations and reverse. Okay, we got one more exercise. Ball or no ball, certainly optional. Make sure that you've got your hips in the right spot. So we start with those knees right directly over the hips, okay? And you have your feet just on the edge of your chair there. All right, inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to come all the way up, and I'm going to have you hold it. Make sure your legs are glued together, okay? Bring the arms down to your side, ball or no ball, okay? You're going to lift up and lower. Lift up lift and lower. Good. One more on each side. And hold it. Extend, lower lift. All right, here's where the ball comes in. We're going to hold the ball right on the shin, or just reach your fingertips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch it out. Lift it up. You can have the knee bent if you like, or straight. You're going to hinge from the hip. Hands on the ball, pressing into the ball as your shin presses also into the ball, creating a little bit of resistance. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Hold the arms high. Inhale. And slowly melt it on down. Good. Tuck the knees in. You can place your ball, or just so it doesn't roll away. Okay, we're going to roll ourselves up and do a quick set of earthquake. So if you haven't done this before, place your ball, and the ball works really nicely here. You can probably stack some pillows and get a little wedge in there, and you're going to have your spine nice and neutral. Roll your shoulders down and back. I want you to hinge back, okay? Hold it here. Neck is long, ear, shoulder, hip, all in one plane. All right, we're going to lift up the right arm and lower it. As you exhale, the arm comes up. If you don't feel this, go back a little farther. Just make sure we're not extending over the ball. It's a neutral position, neutral hinge. Arm only goes to the ear. All right, optional, both arms. Double the resistance, double the fun. Again, you're welcome to go one arm at a time again, or do the double. All right, last one. Hold, open the arms and close. You can feel that resistance get a little harder as those arms open. Maybe the earthquake's coming. Belly, training that torso, core muscles to do their job, and that's a stabilizer. All right, I'll lift up one knee and the other. That is all a option. Last one, and hold. Let's bring our arms in front, and we're going to just do a little rotation as we pull one elbow back. Eyes follow the elbow. If you find this just a little too tough, you're welcome to this in a vertical posture. Also, you don't even need, you just do this in a seated position here. Ear, shoulder, hip, all in plane. I like open diamonds, which just means the soles of the feet are together and the knees are open. All right, good. Very good. All right, move your hips forward. Place your ball right at the scapula. Lie on down. And support the weight of the head as we get a nice little stretch here. Elbows open. So we don't want to just let our head dangle off there. So support it. You can extend both legs, but let's go a little wide stance so we don't roll off the ball. This can be done without the ball, of course. We just don't get a deep a stretch. All right, bring your legs back together. Lift up. Take one knee, roll it up. Do a little mermaid to finish. You can have your legs crossed or soles of the feet together. Place the ball. You can use your hand on the floor, or actually even the paper plate works kind of nice here, and you can just slide. you don't need a ball. Okay. All right, roll your shoulder down and back. Do a little lateral flexion of the spine, a little cool down. Last one, hold it, pass the ball. Good. Up and over. Think of lengthening your spine before you go into your flexion. You want to anchor that opposite hip, and the ball or the paper plate work really nice. Good. Oh, one more, this just feels nice. Okay, you can open up your legs a little bit if you'd like. They can be bent. Okay, sit up tall and walk that ball, or again, paper plate. Scooping up through the belly and inhale. Restack each time. If you'd like to point the toes as you bring it down. For those of you who are a little tighter in the hamstrings, that's an option. Or if you want to challenge yourself, keep it flexed as you curve. This is another variation of a spine stretch. I like to do a little flex point. Flex as you bring it forward. All right, on this last one, hold it out there. Make sure something's on the floor here so our back isn't just hanging in space here. Elbows, hands, something. You're welcome to bring your legs a little more narrow. That's going to be a little more challenging. Allowing your forehead to melt in towards your thighs. Just rolling those shoulders down and back. Kind of see more of a side view here. I'm keeping this space hollow for now. You pull back on those toes. You can use that stretching strap or towel. All right, on the next one, slowly peel yourself up. And thanks for joining me again today for another Pilates at Home workout. See you next time.